So this is going to be round 3, and this is probably going to be one of the shortest videos I put up in the entire series, because sometimes there are just games that are stupid, and this is one of them. There's really not a lot to discuss in this one. I'm playing Ben Schoenbrun. I'm 0-2 after dropping games to someone in the 3rd and 4th quadrants. And Ben is in the top quadrant. He's rated higher than me. I think he's the 12th seed in the tournament. It'd be great to get a win here, because otherwise I'm 0-3. My opening rec is ACMOQWY. And this, really there's two things you can do here. You can play Cowie, and you can play Coom. And I absolutely love the terrible games where you open a game with like VAV or VAU or CWM, because I just love those horrible, awful, clunked up positions at the beginning of the game. And so without spending a lot of time thinking about it, I played Coom. But I really should have spent a lot more time thinking about it for a couple reasons. One, my placement of Coom is probably incorrect. I have a Y, for Christ's sake, so if I put it here, I can set up, MY and OY or something like that next turn, because Ben's probably going to exchange a good amount of the time after this. But also, I should just play Cowie. Like, that's a better play. AQM is a much better leave than AOQY. And Cowie is still really nice and defensive. It's hard for Ben to do much after that. There's no hooks or anything like that. You can't overlap the top half of the word because of the C there. So, I don't know. I just got too cute, too eager to play Coom right away. And in hindsight, I should definitely play Cowie out of this turn. Now, of course, it's not going to come back and hurt me at all this game because Scrabble is stupid. So I play Coom, and Ben almost immediately exchanges all 7 of his tiles. Which is, what you expect to happen after Coom a lot of the time. Especially if he doesn't have very many vowels or if he's got some crap, just whatever. I created a terrible board. Ben's doing a good job of making me deal with it. I pull into AEOOQVY. I wasn't expecting a good rack this turn after holding AOQY, and I sure don't have one. And I'm basically faced with the decision of playing Covey for 21 or exchanging 6 or 7. AOOQVY, and we'll go ahead and put an X, AEOOQVY. Oop. X, AEOOQVY. Guess I got a space in there. And this is one of the coolest things about Quackle. You can see the details box I've got over on the right side of the screen. Our opponent's next turn after I play Covey, they average about 41. Whereas if I exchange and make them deal with CWM, they're going to average about 29. So by not making a move, I'm stopping Ben from scoring a lot more points. And additionally, I leave so poorly after Covey. AOQ is nothing you want to keep. I'm going to score about 7 more points per turn after Covey. So it's probably best here to just let Ben deal with the monster of a board I've created after Coom and to throw back. I actually elected to throw back all 7, not just 6. Because I wanted extra shots at drawing an S or a blank. When you open a game with Coom or VAV or something like that, S's and blanks are really important tiles. So I threw back the extra tile for the extra S opportunity. Now, I would do it again if you gave me the chance. I would never play Covey here. I think there are some people who might, but not me. Ben makes one of those sadness plays. He plays RICE through the C. That probably means he's bingo prone, but not super bingo prone. He's probably holding something like EINR, and he's in one of those like, God, I hope I draw a bingo next turn, because if I don't, I'm just very sad kind of positions. I pick up ADELNNV, and there's just really only one thing to do. You just drop a Vand right there for 33 points. It's stupid to play Vand. You don't want to play Davin underneath instead. Like, just play Vand, nice and defensive. One thing that kind of scared me is I wasn't totally sure what goes in front of Riced. I was pretty sure it was, obviously a P is good, priced, and then I'm pretty sure you could put a T there, but only about 80% sure. I should be a lot more secure on stuff like that. Sure enough, it is a P and a T that goes in front of Riced. So my gut was right, but I'm scared that the T is going to come down. I don't want that to have to happen. Luckily, Ben's sadness play yields a pickup of probably 2 or 3 vowels. He's probably holding something like EIRT, EIRN, and if you pick up vowels, you're probably just going to exchange next turn or something like that. So Ben does exchange, but he only exchanges 3 this time. So he's getting close. He's kind of in range for a bingo. I pick up D, F, J, L, N, S, U. And again, there's really only one play to make here. If you know the word, you need to drop fold for 26 points. It's clearing away the best option when Quackle thinks the next best option is folds for 2 more points. You don't really need to talk about that turn anymore. So fold comes down, and Ben, I felt so bad for the guy after this. He plays Allo for 8. So for those of you keeping score at home, Ben has scored 0, 8, 0, and 8. Some Division 1 Scrabble right there. No, just kidding, Bnjy. I'm sure he was dealing with some bad racks there, and that's also, you know, an extreme form of what's supposed to happen after you open a game with Rice. But 0, 8, 0, 8. He's probably going to come down with the bingo. He's been fishing, playing off 3 tiles or exchanging 3 tiles for almost nothing. So I'm expecting him to be pretty close in range. BEEJNOS is my pull. And again, just like, you play job. It is so much better than every play, and it gets rid of the annoying Reist front hook that might be a T that I'm not totally sure about. So extra bonus there, but job is definitely what you have to do out of that. And finally, Ben hits his bingo. 0, 8, 0, 8, and then R signs for 78 points. There are some people who play Scrabble like that all the time. They score less than 10 or they bingo with R signs. Ben is not that guy most of the time, but sometimes you just got to play like that. I pull into C, D, E, E, N, R, S. There's a bingo there. It's a 7. It's discerns or decerns. I really don't know how you say that word, but it's 73 points, and there's really nothing to think about there either. So I've had like basically 4 thoughtless plays in a row. Ben exchanges 3 again. It's starting to get ludicrous at this point. 0, 8, 0, 8. R signs, exchange 3 again. It feels like I'm playing back in the school Scrabble Championship when I played in middle school against a bunch of middle schoolers. All they did was aggressively fish to try and bingo as often as they could. So this is a nice little throwback game for me. I pick up EILORTV, and this game goes from silly to like absolutely stupid at this point because there's overlay for 85. And, you know, what are the odds I'm going to bingo right there? I need an O or an I to go after the S, so of course I hit it. Natural 85 points. I expect Bnjy probably to bingo back, and he does after his exchange 3. Exchange 3 means he get bingoed on a lot. Triclads comes down for him, but, you know, maybe there were some better bingos he could have made. Like Realist threatens a triple-triple, but when you're down by 160, like what the hell can you do? Or 180, I guess it was. So Triclads comes down, and then it just gets even more stupid because I pulled the last blank, AAEEGG blank. All of the S's are gone, and I have the case blank. So I decide to play reggae right here for 12 points, just because I'm the only one who can put a tile after that word. It makes the triple words available to me and not to Bnjy. You know, there are other plays you can make here, and honestly, at this point, I'm not sure how much it matters. It's more about, like, how aggressively do I want to try and rack up more spread in this game versus how conservative do I want to be. But there's also Raggee, R-A-G-G-E-E, in the same spot. Basically accomplishes the same thing, but I just went with reggae because I wanted a different letter to try and bingo from that A. I'm a favorite to bingo before Bnjy in this game since I'm holding a blank. Ben comes down with poof, and again, just like more absolutely stupid stuff into my A blank leave. I pick up E-I-O-K-Y, but Ben has just played poof, so now I have the Y to go behind it, and KO plays for 49 points, holding a blank and leaving my bingo line open. Again, there's just no thinking to be done here. Like every play, except for the first one, and then reggae has been very obvious, and even then reggae's fine, I think. Ben comes down with QAT. And I've pulled into EIMRUU blank. I was super afraid I was going to miss a bingo out of this rack, but luckily there were no bingos. I'm actually going to go ahead and check real quick. There is a 7, Uridium, but Uridium does not play on this board, and no 8s play on this board as well. There's Residuum, Refugium, Humature, and Europium, so those are some fun 8s that would have been nice to play. I just went ahead and played Moo Moo here. The speedy play, the equity play is probably moo right there, but because I'm holding the last blank, QATS plays are mine, or reggae's plays are mine, and I want to keep those available. So I play moo instead, score 8. And then Ben comes back with ZITI right here. And I'm getting a little bit scared all of a sudden. It's like, whoa, wasn't I winning by 180 and I had a blank, and now I'm winning by like 60? You know, that's what happens, though, when you're trying to bingo and you can't bingo when you're holding bingo prone stuff. Eventually, though, you're going to hit your bingo, or you should most of the time. And I did here. I drew EIINPR blank and Spinier plays for 85. I briefly considered playing Spinier over here because the X is unseen, and Spinier along the bottom does give up big X plays, but I'm giving up 11 points to try and not give Bnjy 60, and even if he hits his 60, he's not going to win. So I went ahead and just grabbed the points. I think I would do that again every single time. Ben just drops BE over here. And, of course, you know, in typical this game is stupid fashion, I pick up the X, and I'm just going to drop Oxy there for 61. When it rains, it pours. I'm sorry, Bnjy. Bnjy plays Wander. He's just kind of playing really fast now. And I'm pretty convinced that lunch happens after Game 3. It's been a year since I played a Nationals, and I forgot the schedule. And Bnjy looks really sad. And I'm really hungry. And I just decide, whatever, like, I'm just going to play this endgame fast. Bnjy can't go out anywhere, so I'll just make sure I can go out fast. I played Gigaton here. There are many better endgames I could have come up with, but I was really hungry. Bnjy was really sad, and I kind of feel like it's poor form to like sit there and spend 6 minutes in a game where you're up by 150 and your opponent's all deflated. I know I shouldn't think that way. Like, I know it's fine to do, and any Scrabble player will respect your decision to do that. But I was also hungry, like, let's be honest. So Quackle wants me to play like Toga, and I'm sure there's some fun sequences that happen after that. I just throw down Gigaton, Bnjy hits high, and then I just drop my H to go out and eat lunch. That was that. You know, from Bnjy's perspective, I don't really know what you can do to stop this from happening. And when you're playing against a 1900 player and they get stupid easy racks like I did, they're generally going to hit the plays most of the time. So that was a dumb game. Sometimes Scrabble's done. Luckily, at the Nationals, I really didn't have a lot of stupid blowouts. And even those I did, there was something I did at the beginning that was questionable that, you know, led me to get blown out or something. So we won't have too many videos like this, but, you know, it happens sometimes. So there's Game 3.